8 money lessons that stand the test of time. Guys, leave me some comments. What are some money lessons you have learned from your elders? All these 8 lessons were from a 79-year-old father of the writer of this article that I got from CNBC. Some pretty good stuff in here. So, hey, I'm going to try and do something. What is that old saying? Walking and chewing gum at the same time? Let's see if I can do it. Give you a little tour of my property. I haven't done this in a while. So, number 1, being cheap and being frugal are not the same. What does that mean? Well, here's what that means. You know, if you're cheap, it's one thing. You're trying to cut costs on pretty much everything, right? Everything, you just want to save money. Being frugal is knowing when to spend the money on the things that you really want. It's talking about frugality is more getting value for your money than just being cheap on everything. There's some stuff you might want to spend on. Yeah, here we go. Here's the one blight on my property, this big telephone pole. But as you see, if I'm coming from my porch, you don't see that telephone pole. It's only when you come over to this side. So yeah, being frugal, getting value for your money, as opposed to just being cheap for the sake of being cheap, right? It's a big difference. Could be a huge difference depending on how cheap or frugal you are. Number 2, turn off the lights when you leave the room. What does this mean? This means that little things add up, guys, over time. If you turn the lights off every time you go in the room, saving money, right? Little things like that add up. Maybe 1 or 2 of those, not so much. But you combine like 10 of those together, yes, it can really save money for you. Kind of tricky there. That's my little side area here that is I've actually seen some rattlesnakes right here, right in this area before sunning themselves, trying to get warm, especially in the winter. Yeah, you got to watch where you step out here. Number 3, let your values guide your financial decisions. You know, if you're just making financial decisions just to make more money, could be stuff you don't even believe in. How much more valuable is that, guys, when you can make decisions based on what you really believe in life? Isn't it so much more satisfying? I know it is to me. I mean, and there's also things that's like, it could be stuff that may not quite be on the level that you might regret investing in later on. Sure, you made a bunch of money, but how did you make that money? Did you make it off of hard work? Did you make it off of other people, being taken advantage of? Yeah, stuff like that doesn't feel good down the line, does it? At least I know it doesn't to me. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time on this bumpy walkie where seems like I can't chew gum when I'm walking at the same time, my name is Duane, and this is a channel for people on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video as well. So here we are. This is my garage here. That's my driveway going down to the beginning of my property. I'm on a little over 1 acres here up in the high desert, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, the house itself, not that big. It's like it's almost 1,100 square feet. That's all I need. Just me up here. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. Man, I'm in heaven. So what do we have after this? We have number 3. Number 4 we're already on. See, I can't think. I'm walking around and I can't think. Debt steals tomorrow's options. What does this mean? Well, here's what this means. You're heavy in debt. Where's all your money going to? All your money is going to paying off that debt. Yeah, you can't invest how you want to invest. You can't do the things you really want to do. Another exciting part of my videos where I change my hands. Oh my God, I'm so coordinated. I should be in Cirque du Soleil. You just can't do the things you want to do investing-wise if you are just riddled with debt, right? I know when I was younger, I was pretty heavily in debt, student loan debt. I actually got to the point when I was just out of school where I said, you know what? Do I really have to pay this debt back now? Why don't I wait a while? Yeah, that got me into trouble. Luckily, my dad was there to help bail me out because I went 6 months without paying a student loan payment. How stupid is that? Youth, right? Youth. Not good. Number 5, celebrate simplicity. It's just like in investing, guys. If you were investing in index funds, target date retirement funds, not the most exciting investments, right? They're simple. It's not really set it and forget it, but for the most part, it's set it and forget it. I mean, you always have to look at your investments, see how they're doing and stuff. But for the most part, it's set it and forget it, as opposed to these exotic investments you get into. And unless you have a real understanding of financial tools, financial systems, financial products, wouldn't advise for that at all. Keep it simple, guys. Over 20, 30 years of power compounding just works wonders for you. Keep it simple. Number 6, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard that before. I know I have, ad nauseum sometimes. But you know what? When you think about it, it is really, really good advice. It really is. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in knowledge. You are investing in, you're spending time on improving yourself, right? So instead of just investing in whatever and just saying, this is for those of you with financial advisors. If you have financial advisor, don't just say, okay, here's my money, you invest it for me. I don't want to know what you're investing in. I don't care as long as I get good results. Invest in yourself, guys. You know what? If you start studying these products, you start asking him how he invests, he or her invests, maybe you'll learn something. Maybe down the road, you might not need a financial advisor anymore, taking that percentage of assets under management, right? That can really add up quick. All that money, invest in yourself, guys. It pays off down the road. And yes, I'm sure we've all heard this before, but it really pays off in the end. Number 7, another obvious one. New cars destroy wealth. See, I'm not very good at this whole tour thing. Yeah, new cars. Another one we've heard a lot about before. Get a good used one. When's the last time I got a new car? Long time ago. Mine has always been investing in good, recently used cars. Couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Especially, I've always found really good deals with previously owned cars that have, like BMW has this, previously owned certified vehicles. I've never had an issue with them. I really haven't. Are you paying a little bit more? Maybe so. Maybe a couple $1,000 more. But down the road, it really helps. Don't buy new. I mean, the value goes off right after you get off the lot, right? We all know this. Yes, we've heard this before, but it's very good advice still. Get a good used car. Hang on for it as long as you can. There's another weakness I have. I usually hold on to a car for 2-3 years and then boom, I get another one. I'm working on that. Let's put it that way. I'm working on that. And here is number 8. You can always earn more money, but you can't earn more time. Yep, so true, right? What does that mean as far as this channel goes? Retiring early. Do you want to be one of those people who, let's say you are 62 years old and you decide, you know what? I think I've got enough money to retire, but do I really want to do that yet? Can't I earn more money to be more secure? Sure, you could, but look at the time that you're wasting by doing that. It's the whole thing about 1 more year syndrome, right? 1 more year syndrome can easily turn into 2 more years syndrome, 3 more years syndrome, because it becomes like a habit after a while, guys. It's like you're just not ready to pull the trigger, right? Time is very important. When you're 23, maybe not so much. But when you are like 20, up in your 40s and beyond, yeah, it can be a big deal. A huge, dare I say, huge deal. So guys, there are 8 lessons that stand the test of time that this writer for CNBC got from his very frugal and very successful 79-year-old father. A lot of those are pretty good advice. And yes, you may have heard some of those before. I get it. I've heard a lot of them before too. But why do you think they stand the test of time? Because you've heard them before. Your parents have probably heard them too. So guys, the bottom line for your money, I would like to think that I am investing in the way that makes me feel good about myself. You know, am I wasting time with my investments? Am I investing in stuff that is just kind of sketchy? You know, stuff that may make me a lot of money, but I'm not really going to feel good about it. Value. What are your values? Let that lead your investing. That's one of the points we talked about. Very important part. So there you go, guys. 8 lessons that I think are pretty good. And as usual, I hope it wasn't too bumpy when I was walking around. And as always, from the lovely high desert, we got this.